another another video for you. Nah, man. Let me get myself together real quick because I get long-winded, especially when I start talking about what I'm talking about. So give me 1 second. Today is Monday, August 12th. Yeah, I mean, time is 8:44 Central Standard Time for me. And before we get started, I hope that this video reaches all of you guys in great health, great wealth, great abundance, prosperity, joy, happiness, love, peace, all that. You know what I mean? Sprinkle all that on y'all. You feel me? And yeah, so just like the title of the video says, everybody wants to be rich, but does everybody want to do the work? It's a good question. If y'all watched the video from last week, I pretty much laid down my foundation, and I feel like everybody should have a foundation spiritually. If your foundation is based off of a religion, that's great. That's a great starting point. But at some point, you have to graduate. You have to graduate. It's cool for people to be walking around here and saying, pray for this, pray for that, go to church for this, go to church for that, go to the mosque for this, mosque for that. You know what I mean? Go to the synagogue for this, for that. It's all cool. But at some point, you have to mentally prepare yourself and connect to get yourself to the next level. Time and time again, you hear so many people who sound like this, right? Oh man, look at the way that person is living. They're so lucky. They was just dealt a great hand of cards, and I was dealt this bad, messed up hand, and woes me, woes me, woes me. You hear a lot of people like that from time to time. Or you have people who say this blanket statement, right? And they're like, hey, you know what? I want to be rich. I want to be rich. But that's it. It's such a vague statement, right? To just say you want to be rich. Rich can mean anything. And of this world, when you're of this world, you have to understand that money isn't real. It's not real. It's not real. It hasn't been real for quite some time. All it is a piece of paper, just like this, right? These sticky notes, the same material, the same tree that was killed to make these sticky notes, it's the money. You feel me? This box right here, right? This cardboard box that was made of the paper, you feel me? From a tree. It's the same thing like money. It's the same thing. Any piece of paper that you could find anywhere, that's money. That's literally the money. The money is just green paper. When Nixon nixed the gold standard, meaning the actual money was based off of gold, backed by gold, when he nixed that during his presidency, this shit became null and void. All we doing is just passing paper around. So when you have your mindset focused on rich and that's it, that's the reason why you're currently spinning your tires and you feel like you're not going from point A to point B. Rich can mean a whole lot of different things. So you got to think about it like this, right? In the United States, Rome, Europe, they put a big spin on words and the language that we use day in and day out. You know what I'm saying? It spells what we're using. And we say these words so often and unconsciously, we don't even know that the words that we're using can sometimes be detrimental to us in what we're trying to do. Unconsciously, not even knowing. You know what I'm saying? So you say these things, right? And you're like, yo, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. What does that mean? Because put yourself in position of the creator, in the position of the creator, of God, Yahweh, the Most High. Put yourself in that position, right? You're sitting there and you're hearing these words come through to you, right? Remember what I said in the last video? You turn that frequency, you turn that knob on your reception, and then you get synced up and you're connected to the Most High, and you're exchanging these messages back and forth, and you hear individuals stating, I want to be rich, I want to be wealthy. But they don't specify what it is that they are really saying. Rich can be a lot of things, right? You wake up in the morning, if you don't have no pains, you're able to move around, you're able to jump, you're able to skip, you're able to work, you're able to breathe on your own, you're able to walk, you're able to move, you're able to think, you're able to speak. That's rich. That's definitely rich, because it's a whole lot of people somewhere else that would trade anything to have what you take advantage for on a day in and day out basis. And as I stated, the money's not real. The money's not real today. It's not backed by anything. So what does rich mean to you specifically? You got to be more purposeful. You got to have more intent behind the words that you're saying day in and day out. Try this, for example, right? You want to be rich, right? Put a plan together. What I do at the beginning of the year is I create a vision board, right? I put what my goals are for the year. A lot of people will put a vision board in place, and the vision board would be just a blank vision board, or it'll be a vague vision board, and you'll have a house, $1 billion house, $100,000 car, jewelry, vacations, and all these different things, right? You got to be more realistic. All of that stuff is good because it helps when you visualize and you meditate on it, but you got to be more purposeful. You got to create a plan for yourself that's designed for specifically just you. So I create the vision board, right? On the vision board, I'm specific. I already know, you know what I'm saying? I already know that it takes a while to be able to get to these certain stages in life. You can't go from making, you know what I'm saying, 5 figures a year to automatically just jump straight into $1 million home. I mean, it's just not going to happen. But what you can do is you can put that as the top of the pyramid, right? That way you have something to aim towards. And now it's like, okay, cool. If I want this $500,000 home, or I want this $700,000 home, or shit, if I want this $1 million home, or I want that Mercedes-Benz G-Class, or you want the tour bus, or whatever it is that you want that costs these amounts that you want, put it at the top of the pyramid, right? Now you have something to aim towards. So now, instead of just having it right there and just having something to look towards and saying, hey, I want to be rich so I can get these things, put specific price tags and amounts on what it is that you're trying to do. Like I said in the last video, you can sit here and pray all day for being rich, but it's such a vague term. You know what I'm saying? You could find $1 on the street. You're $1 richer than you was before you found it. You could work 40 hours and get paid for your 40 hours that you worked, and then for whatever reason you just got an extra, you know, your job says, hey, here's an extra bonus of $50,000 for showing up on time and doing what you do. You're $50 richer than you were before. See, we create every single day. We create all of the time, consciously and unconsciously. So if you know that this is the way that the world works, and you know that this is the game that the people who don't want to tell you about it are playing, why not utilize it to be able to make it work in your favor? Why you can't do that? So cool. Let's say $500,000 house at the top of the pyramid, right? You be intentful. Boom. This is what I want to have. Or you want that car. Boom. $50,000 to $100,000 car. Boom. You got that right there at the top of the pyramid. How are you going to get to that car? You have to set the stage, and you have to set your vision board to knock out small goals. Because if you put a list together of achievable small goals, it makes it a lot more easier when you set those big goals for yourself to be able to tackle and take over. So instead of just trying to be all over the place at one time, and you're like, I want this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that, you're setting the stage to be very, very depressed. I'm going to be 100 with you. Because you'll start seeing all of these things that you set in place for yourself, and you start getting overwhelmed. because it's not happening as fast as you would like or as fast as you hoped. And then you'll start looking on social media, right? Because social media is definitely the devil. You feel me? You got a lot of people online that ain't really doing what they saying they doing. It's fake, but they're portraying themselves as such. You see everybody that, they take the photo, right? They take their phone and they're just like, look at me, I mean, I'm in Tulum, I'm happy out here, da 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 da. But as soon as you press stop, you press that red button and stop the recording, real life hits. And they back feeling however it is that they feeling inside. And I'm not saying everybody. You got some people that figured out the game and they pimping and they living life to their fullest potential. But how many people do you know that like that? You really know like that. And they out here just, stunting. And then they're asking you for $20 at the end of the week. Teach his own. But, don't pay attention to what everybody's doing. Because at the end of the day, it's your race. It's your race. You have to run it according to how you can run it. And that's just what it's all about. And it ain't no sprint. It's cross country. You feel me? Keep going. Go at your pace. Ain't no sprint. It's a marathon, baby. So, there's that. Don't set the bar so high to where you can never jump over it. You can never clear it. Start low. Set small goals and get yourself acquainted with the process to be able to achieve those goals. So instead of going straight for the home run and say, I'm finna get this $1 million house. Nah, start small. Say, you know what? I want this car, like I stated, or you want this job that's paying X amount. Do the little things. That's how, and then you got to do this every year. You can do it every year, every month, every week, however you want to go about it. It's your game. You got to figure out how to play it. But set the stage, right? So using the example that we stated we were using, I don't know if I said the house or I said the car, but right now, let's just go ahead and go with the car because it's easier. So let's just say a $50,000 car, new vehicle, right? Let's say you don't want to take out a loan. You could to make the process a lot faster for you, but let's say you want to pay it outright, right? Boom, that's the goal. You want to have the $50,000 whip paid for. You ain't got no car note. It's right there in your garage. Boom, you own it free and clear. How you gonna do that? Most people are only getting paid between $35,000 and maybe $50,000 annually. You know what I mean? And that's not even taking into consideration the taxes and other expenses that happen throughout daily life. So that $50,000 that you may be making annually ain't what you seeing at the end of the year. I guarantee it. Once you factor in inflation, the goddamn rent, gas, insurance, all these different things, you're not seeing that $50,000. So how are you going to get that $50,000 vehicle that you've set in place for yourself at the beginning of the year? This is how you do it. What I had to pride myself on was budgeting. You feel me? I was spending a whole lot of money on a whole lot of dumb shit, and I didn't even understand where my money was going at the end of the day until I sat my ass down and I started looking at my bank statements, and I was like, where the hell is all my money going? So I sat down, looked at all my bank statements, wrote out my bills. I wrote out the month. No, this is how you do it. You write the money that you have coming in every month, right? This is your net. Then you write out your bills, right? And then you write out all of the miscellaneous bullshit. So my bills were set because it was the same amount that I was paying every month. My income was set because it was the same money that I was receiving every month. So that. I was spending so much money on bullshit, and the bullshit that I was spending money on, I was spending so much money on food. It was crazy. How many of y'all out there is just, door dashing it up? Or every weekend you gotta go out to eat, or every day after work you gotta go get some fast food, or you gotta go to the bar, you gotta go to the club, you gotta go do this, you gotta go do that. How many of y'all is spending so much money on just that dumb shit? Money being spent on food was my kryptonite. I was spending like $700, $800, $900, $1,000 on food and dumb shit. So then I was like, It was a realization for me, right? I looked at this shit and I was like, yo, this is fucking crazy. I'm spending too much money on dumb shit. I have to stop this. So what I did was I said, yo, I'm gonna go to the grocery store and I'm gonna buy food. I'm not. I wasn't a chef, but now I'm Chef Boyardee. You feel me? Chef Boyardee out here. You know what I mean? But you go to the store now, and instead of all of this eating out, you're like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna buy food to cook throughout the week. And that's not to say that you're not gonna eat out sometimes. Sometimes you just don't feel like cooking. I know I don't. I'm like, yo, you know what? I don't feel like doing that shit today. I'll go, get some fast food real quick. But it's not an everyday occurrence. Start minimizing all of your unnecessary expenses, right? Look at how times have changed. If you still paying for cable in 2024, yo, you gotta go see a psychiatrist and get your head checked for one, because that shit's crazy. You shouldn't be paying for no goddamn cable when everything is online for free. And that moves me into my other point, right? Because if you've been paying attention, cable is so goddamn expensive. They bundle it with the internet, and then, you know what I'm saying, you got a certain amount of channels, and you got to pick this package to get the premium channels, and now you paying $200 to $300 in just internet and cable alone just so you can watch certain things that come on certain time frames. That's crazy shit. You feel me? Yo, you ain't even got to do all that. The next step down would be streaming services, right? But everybody wants to create their own streaming service now, which is turning more expensive than cable. Because if you got the ESPN streaming service, and then you got the Disney streaming service, and then you got the Netflix streaming service, and then you got Sling TV, and then you got the motherfucking Hulu, you add all that shit up, you paying way more than what you was paying to begin with the cable. And that's fucking crazy. I'm gonna give you a cheat code right now. Yes, Netflix is had because there's some shows on Netflix that's cool. But to be honest, you don't even need to have Netflix. There are websites out there. I'm not going to tell you on this live, but just know that there are websites out there that you can go to watch anything that you want to watch. You sit there and you think it, hey, you know what? I want to watch The Lion King, the cartoon version from 1993 or 92, whenever the hell it came out. Boom, it's right there. Type it in. Boom, right there. Clear copy. New movies. You probably got to wait a month or a couple of weeks before you get the HD version, or if you don't give a shit and you want to go ahead and just get the the bootleg version. I mean, shit, depending on how old you were. I know when I was younger, shit, I was watching movies with the people walking across the screen, you know what I'm saying? But I've upgraded since then. But if you want to, all you gotta do is think about it, and it's right there. It's a website right there for you to do that. So cancel the cable. Pull the plug on cable. If you're paying for a cable bill right now, you're crazy. Pull the plug on that shit. That should open up. That should free up some excess money that you should be able to use to set the stage for what you're trying to do. Boom. Pull the plug on that. What else? You going out to eat so much like me? Yo, cut that shit out. Go to the store. Go to Walmart. Go to Winco if you got a Winco out there, or you got a Target. Target kind of expensive, I ain't gonna lie to you. But if you got a Kroger, whatever kind of supermarket you have, go there, meal prep, buy your food, and cook for the week. I know after the third day, to be honest with you, I get tired of eating the same shit after the third day. After the first day is cool, the second day is like, all right, cool. The third day, once you start treading on that third day, you're like, all right, now, come on now. But get you enough food to where you can make last for a week or two. You know what I mean? There you go. You're minimizing those expenses. How many of y'all are with, a cell phone provider, right? In my case, it's Verizon. I've been with Verizon for the past 13 years. Rule of air, all of that shit is cool. You know what I'm saying? You're able to do all these different things. My calls don't drop. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's great. Haven't had any service that beats it. But I do know that it's expensive. It is expensive. If you know, okay, cool, you don't really travel like that. You just in the same spot all day, and you just hooked up to the Wi-Fi majority of the time, and you don't really go anywhere like out of the state or, out of your city like that. Why are you continuing to pay these high ass cell phone bills? if you're with AT&T, you with T-Mobile, you with all these different places, why pay that? You got all the advertisements coming at you, throwing it in your face. Hey, no contract. Sign up now for $25 a line. All of these things exist. I know me, back in the day, I used to look down on Metro. You feel me? Like, yo, you got Metro phone, you got Metro service? Hell nah. Then it blasts you, you know what I'm saying? So if you do a screen share or screen record or whatever, and you see them little Wi-Fi bars, or if you ain't got the Wi-Fi bars, it tells you the service that you have. So if you see Metro PCS, you're like, man, hell nah, Metro. Now, once I ascended and I start understanding, like, yo, fuck that dumb shit. It's all about saving that bread. $25 a month for one line compared to $100 a month for one line. Come on, man, that's a no goddamn brainer. The reason why I'm still with Verizon right now is because I'm grandfathered in. I've been there so long, and I'm actually getting a way better discount. But if you're looking at your phone service and you're like, yo, the math ain't mathing. You feel me? Like, I'm still dropping calls. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? My bill is still high. All these crazy fees. Check out the Metro PCSs. Check out the Mint Mobiles. Check out the Visible. And what else is the other shit? Cricket Wireless. It's so many different phone providers out there to get your bills lowered. That's the name of the game right there. You got to budget. You got to visualize. Put a plan in place to get to that stage. Then you got to start budgeting, right? So, okay, cool. $50,000 car. How do I get there? Let's start budgeting. Let's start freeing up some free cash to see what all we can do. Boom. Now, let's say you was able to cut out all of the shit. You were able to cut out the cell phone bill. You're able to cut the cord on your cable service. You're able to free up some money as it pertains to you spending money eating out all the time. You lowered your shopping. You're done shopping and buying up all the J's and dumb shit every month. Boom. Let's say you was able to free up $800 to $1,000 extra a month in income. Now it's like, okay, cool. What can I do here? What can I do here? You got a free $800 to $1,000 in income. What am I going to do with this money? Now the question becomes real. You feel me? You had the thought, you had the plan. Now you sitting here staring at this excess money that you freed up. Most people would take that money and they say, you know what? I want this $50,000 whip. The car note is probably gonna be about $700, $600 plus the insurance on it. Yo, sign me up. Now you back uncomfortable again. That's where most people fuck up, because you free up the cash and then you automatically throw it into some other shit to break down the surplus that you created for yourself. Don't do that shit. I'm telling you. Billionaire Lee's telling you, don't do that shit. Free up the cash, right? And then once you got that excess $800, that excess $1,000, now you have to tell yourself, okay, cool. I got seeds. I got money seeds. I got $1,000 of money seeds. So I got $800 of money seeds. How are you going to plan it? You have to figure out how you're going to plan it. And if you're following me right now, I'm going to tell you how you should plan it. You got to plant this money in a way that it's going to give you a bigger return. A bigger return. It's one thing to take this money and throw it out the window and spend it every month, and it's a whole nother game. It's a whole different game when you take that money and you invest the money into assets that's going to give you a profit on your return. How do you do that? Now you closing, you're exiting one way of life and you're going on to the other way of life. You feel me? One thing about this country, right, is things are always happening. Things are always happening. Things are changing so quick by the second. But one thing that's not changing, that's been the same for hundreds of fucking years, is the way that these people play the game behind the scenes. That shit has always been the same. Always. So for the time's sake purposes, I'm gonna focus on one area. I'm gonna give you a brief overview of the way that you can play it. But I'm gonna focus on one part during this video right here. One thing that stays the same in life, the stock market is always going to be in place. It's always going to be there. Insurance policies, and this is my specialty, and we're going to touch on this a lot more and a lot heavier, but insurance policies are the the golden ticket. They're not going anywhere, and they've been around for hundreds of thousands of years. So you got the stock market, you got insurance, you got real estate. Real estate. If you buy and hold real estate, odds are that money that you spent is going to start generating revenue at a certain point in time. And then credit, credit, personal credit, but business credit is the key. There's a whole lot of other things, and we could dabble into all of those different things one on one once the time permits in a later video. But for the sake of keeping everything on the same page and what we was talking about in this specific example, and us trying to get that car, and us freeing up that cash by budgeting and cutting those expenses down, and we opened up an extra $1,000 a month, let's keep it on this level. You got an extra $1,000 a month, right? What is one of those sayings that you always hear all of the time? The money don't sleep. You might sleep, but the money never sleeps. Money is moving and changing hands, and things are happening day in and day out. The stock market is continuously moving, right? You got the United States stock market, but then you got the Chinese stock market. Then you got the European stock market. You got all of these different money-making avenues that keeps on going while you sleep. See, that's the thing when people say, yo, you want to make money while you're sleeping. This is what they're referring to. So you got two ways that you could play it, right? You could decide to say, yo, you know what? I'm going to study these charts, right? Whether it's looking at certain avenues like Thinkorswim or MetaTrader, for example. These are two systems to where you can analyze the indexes, you can analyze the stocks, you can analyze the currency pairs, and you can get paid based off of the up or down momentum if you understand the charts and what the story is that it's telling you. You could take that $1,000 and you can throw it in there. You could be proficient with what you're looking at, and you can win big. But it's a gamble. It's a gamble. Because just how you can win big, you can also lose big as well. But that's where education comes in, right? Because a lot of people want to be rich, but are they willing to do the work to be rich? Are you willing to do the work? See, you look at all of these people, right? Everybody always sees the finished product, right? You see all of these people that's on TV, and you see all of these people that's making so much money, and you see all of the people that's on, Instagram, YouTube, and all of these different other mechanisms, and you're like, damn, they're making all this money. I want to be just like that. See, that everybody got that Me Too complex, right? I want to be just like them. And even in relationships, right? You see them online, you're like, oh, that's relationship goals, and that's career goals, and that's this goals, and that's that goals. Fuck all that. Be your own goals, right? Because everybody always sees the finished product, but you don't see the work that was put in to get that person to where they are, right? So you might see the person that's making millions of dollars a year, right? But you ain't see when they was struggling and getting it out the mud. You ain't see when they had to live paycheck to paycheck. You ain't see that whole part. You see the after part, but you like, yo, you know what? Everybody think that this whole thing is like this microwave approach. Like, yo, you know what? I got to get it now. I got to get it now. I got to get it fast. I got to get it quick. No, it's a game. You feel me? It's definitely a game. And with this game, you got to know how to play it. How many of y'all play Grand Theft Auto, you know what I'm saying, or whatever type of other game, and back in the day, you go online on the website and you go to cheatplanet.com and you find the cheat codes, right? You find the cheat codes, you plug it in, and then you got unlimited money, unlimited ammo, unlimited this, unlimited that, and you just like, shit. Pokemon, you go put the code in, you got unlimited Pokeballs and Master Balls and all that shit like that, unlimited HP. Yo, everybody wants the cheat codes, right? The cheat codes are out there, but it's just going to require a little bit more work on your part in order to take full advantage of it. cheat code. The cheat code is this motherfucking stock market. It's the cheat code. And even with that, that's the second level of the cheat code. The biggest cheat code is insurance. Insurance. But we're gonna talk about that in another day. One of the cheat codes is the stock market. You take that $1,000, right? Let's go back in time a little bit, right? Let's go back in time and let's go back to 2000 and let's just say 2007. Amazon stock was so low. It was very low. And don't quote me on this because I don't have the numbers in front of me. But Amazon stock at a specific point in time was like $50 to $60 to $70. Anywhere between $50 and $70 for one share. Now ask yourself, how often do you spend $50, $60, $70 in a day, right? You might go to the store and you might buy a few items and that shit came up to $100 and you ain't even got nothing in your cart, right? Those items that you bought were liabilities. You're going to utilize them, they're going to go away, and you don't get nothing back from it. Let's say today is then. You got $1,000 of free cash. And I'm going to pull up my calculator right here. You got $1,000 of free cash, right? Amazon stock, let's say Amazon stock was $70. You was able to get 14, if you got $1,000 of free money, right? You're able to get 15 shares of Amazon stock every month. 14 shares. Let's round it down because it's not an even number. 14 shares of Amazon stock a month. Let's times that by 12, because if you stay consistent at it and you keep on, throwing your money at Amazon or whatever the specific stock is that's booming, and there's a whole lot of them out there. We're just focusing on Amazon right now so you can kind of get a clear understanding of how this shit works. Times 12. You have 168 shares for that particular year, right? Stock prices, they go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. So let's say for the next year, it stayed consistent, right? You was able to add, the stock price increased. So instead of you having 168 shares, you was able to put that same $1,000 to it, and you was able to get 157 shares. Now you at 325 shares. The stock market is still going up, right? Let's say that you was able to get, instead of the 157 shares, it's now 150 shares because it's continuously going up, right? Boom, you're at 475. Let's say that you continue going in this is year 4 now. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you having to get the 140 or 157, you know what I'm saying? Now you're able to get 143 shares, right? So let me see. 143. Hold on. System, man, is just crazy. 475 plus 325 plus 168. Boom. All right, cool. So you following this trend, right? So let's say you was able to go ahead and do this and you get all the way up to 1,111 shares. That's a sign right there. That's definitely a sign. 1111, you feel me? But yo, you got that amount, right? One thing that's language, or that's common language that we don't really understand in this day and age, is people make a play on words often, right? They make a play on words and we don't even understand what they're saying. Even though they're saying things in the English language, and when we take one of those words individually, we know exactly what it is and what it means individually. But let's take, for example, a stock split. Now, if you take a stock, right, you know what a stock means, right? You think that it's like, an asset, more than likely in the stock market and things like that. That's what most people attribute it to. But then you see split, and individually, that a split means something that kind of broke in half, right? Or ripped up the middle, or something along those lines, or it was a percentage broken off. But putting those two together, it confuses the shit out of people. Nobody really knows what that means. But then when you slow it down and you like, okay, cool, it means exactly what it's saying. A stock split, meaning there's a stock that is currently at a discount because now it's being split in half. Let's take Amazon. Amazon got all the way up to $3,600 until about 2 years ago when it did a stock split. When it did the stock split 2 years ago in 2022, when it did the stock split, the stock went from $3,000 to $60. Now, people are hear this shit and like, so what? What the fuck does that mean? That don't mean shit. But you gotta ask yourself, this stock market is something that's consistent about it. There's things that's gonna go down, but it's things that's gonna go up. And you gotta ask yourself when you see these big companies dropping, right? You gotta ask yourself, what is that future outlook on these companies? What's the future outlook on Amazon? How many Amazon trucks do you see on the roadways? How many times do you see Amazon in the news for their innovation and how they're making these vehicles to be more safe in the streets and self-driving vehicles? And how many times do you see that Amazon is hiring like a motherfucker? Amazon is doing big shit. Jeff Bezos is on pace to become the world's first trillionaire. So if you know all of these things and you're like, yo, okay, cool. In the next 10 years, do you think that Amazon is going to be at the level that it is right now? Or do you think that shit is going to increase? That shit is going to increase. So now you making a play on the future, right? So let's say, okay, cool. With your 1111, your 1,111 shares that you got right there, let's say that shit hit the boom. And it went to $3,600 again. And that was just you investing for about 5 years, right? If you got that 1,111 shares of Amazon stock and that shit goes back, because you know it's going to go back to where it was or even beyond, because when it was $3,600, they wasn't even in the same position that they are in right now as far as all of the innovation and advances that they made to this point. If you have 1,111 shares of Amazon stock at this moment or throughout the next 5 years, when that shit goes back to $3,600, you are sitting on $3.9 million fucking dollars. All from you spending what, $1,000 a month for 5 years? You was doing that shit anyway, unconsciously throwing the fucking money out the window. So now if you're more intentful, you're more purposeful with the money, and you put these things at the top of the totem pole, you like, yo, you know what? Hey, even if we keep in our same example, right? Let's say we keep in our same example and we want to get that $50,000 car. This is just the long game, and this is 5 to 6 years out. You at $3.4 million utilizing the same money that you was spending in the first fucking place. You still spending the same money, but the way that you're spending it is completely different. You got to pay attention to the lingo that they don't want you to know about. See, all of the people in their suits and the big wigs, they sit here and there saying all these things, and you looking on the news. See, y'all be watching the news and y'all be worried about the dumb shit, right? Y'all be worried about all of the programming that they put out there to get your mind in this direction. You got to look you got to look in the opposite direction where they're not showing you. You feel me? Yeah, they're going to show you all of this shit to pull plays on your emotions and show you all of this sad shit. And all of these sad things are happening over the place, right? You got to sit here and you got to be like, you know what? Yeah. Let me look this way. Let me look let me look at the money. Let me not look at what they talking about. Let me look at the money. Because they're going to tell you all of this other shit to get you thrown off track. Focus on the money. So now you're looking at the money, right? That's how they got the Yahoo Finance. Pay attention to Yahoo Finance. Pay attention to the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Pay attention to all those different things, right? Because it'll tell you the story. The NASDAQ is just a combination of multiple stocks that's going up and down. They just have them all grouped together, right? Amazon is in the NASDAQ. Yeah, it's in the NASDAQ, along with Google and Apple and all these different things. There's so many fucking stocks out there. You got to pay attention to the stock split, because that's like Black Friday. And then once you realize what's doing the stock split, because when Amazon did that stock split, let's say you had all of let's say you had 1,100 stocks, and then they did the stock split. They were giving you, like, I think it was like 100 or 200 for one. So if you had all of those shares and they did the stock split, you're getting way more. You got to pay attention to the reverse stock splits, though, because if they do a reverse stock split, that's fucked up and that's bad. That means you losing on all sides of the equation. But Amazon, it's never going to happen. No time soon, anyway. You would have held on to the 1,111 shares, you would have been sitting at $3.9 million. What you can't do with that, based off of the money that you already wasting at this point right now. And that's just Amazon. You know how many stocks is out there that's booming, and I see in my own portfolio right now that I'm just seeing jumping through the roof? If you want to get more information on what stocks is upcoming that could potentially do some things, because I'm just me. I'm just Billionaire Lee, and I'm just doing what I do in the stock market and with these insurance policies and things like that. I ain't no financial advisor yet, but I'm your financial advisor on YouTube. Tap in with me. You know what I'm saying? We could get you in the Discord and we could get it popping and we could talk about it. You feel me? But yo, Amazon, you feel me? Let's go back to the example. The $50,000 vehicle. If you go back to the 168, I think that's what I said at first. The 168 shares that you have, right? Let's times that by, no. Yeah, let's keep that. Let's keep it at 168, right? 168. You got these shares at $60, right? Let's say, because Amazon did it. Amazon went up to like, I think $190 something this before it dropped again. It went up to like 190 something, right? So let's say times 199. If you 2 years ago, when I told everybody on my social media accounts and all of that shit, I said, yo, buy Amazon, buy Amazon, buy Amazon. If you would have just put $1,000 into the market every month for 12 months, when that shit went to 199 like it just did this year, you would have been sitting on $33,432 in just 1 year. Just 1 year. Now you can ask yourself the question, right? Because that's just from you investing. You can continue to invest going into the next year and potentially double or triple that amount. Or you could say, yo, you know what? I want the car right now. You feel me? Yeah, the 2024 version is $50,000, but maybe I could get the 2020 version, or maybe I could get the 2019 version, because what the fuck is the difference anyway, right? Now you got 33 bands that you're sitting on just from playing in the stock market, and you can sell them shares at any time and pull it out and have it deposited into your account either instantly or within the next 1 to 5 business days. You say, you know what, give me that whole 33,000. I got something that I want to do. You can pull that money out, and now you can go buy that car that you want to buy cash. No car note. No bullshit behind the scenes. Cash. And then you done figured out the cheat code to this game to be able to get you at least started on the track that you want to go. All by spending the same money that you already spending right now, but more intentionally. And then you could just rinse and repeat the process and get your ass right back in. Or you could take that 33,000 that you sitting on right there and say, yo, you know what? It was just a year that this shit got right here, or 2 years that this shit got right here. Where can I go in the next 5 years, 10 years, if I keep doing the same approach? How much money you sitting on? And that's just with it going up to 199. We already know where it's gonna go. It was at 3,600 before they were even where they were at right now. Let's take that same example, right? Let's say you go ahead and you still got that 168, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch it. You're just letting it do what it do, and then it finally just goes to 3,600 again. And you just leave it like that, right? If you don't want to buy another Amazon stock after you just sat on 100 and let it sit on 168, if that's what you choose to do, I don't say to do that. When it goes back up to $3,600, you sitting on $604,000. $605 damn near. What can't you do with that? Yo, A lot of people want to be rich, but are you willing to do what it takes to get rich is the question. This is just the stock market play, the stock market game real quick. And I just gave you one example. So ask yourself right now, how many excuses you going to continue to make? How much envy you going to have for everybody that's in the position that you want to be in? When are you going to take the independent decision or make the independent decision and say, you know what? I want more for my life and I want to start today. How many of y'all is making the money that y'all making right now? How many of y'all at jobs? How many of y'all is receiving unemployment? How many of y'all is have some sort of income coming in, and with that income coming in, you know that you bullshitting and fucking off the money because you want to say YOLO and all this other shit like that. Yo, I gave you an example of how you could turn $1,000, $12,000 a year. How you could turn $12,000 into damn near 3,600. I said 3,600, 36,000, 33,000. Anywhere between 33 and 36,000 in 2 years. 2 years. Where you seeing these types of profits at? And if you get into the day trading shit, like I said, it's a gamble, but you got the opportunity if you apply yourself and you learn the concepts because it's out there. You got the opportunity to take this money and flip it. Yeah, but y'all don't hear me though, do you? History repeats itself, and the proof is always, and the facts is always in the history. The facts are the facts, you feel me? And these is the facts that I just gave you. So you can sit around all day and you can sit here and cry and moan and gripe and complain about your situation, or you could look in that motherfucking mirror and boss up, king up, queen up, and tell yourself, you know what? I'm a creator. I'm the creator. I'm the architect of my life. I control this. I just got to sync up to Yahweh, the Most High, the universe. I got to get in alignment. I got to change my thought process and start being more optimistic. I got to be more positive. I got to decrease or eliminate all the negativity in my mind and all around me. And I'm choosing today, because you got to choose. You got to decide. You can't be on the fence with the shit. You got to decide that you're going to do something today. All that praying and waiting shit is cool. But you got the information. You ready. Yeah, you ready. You could put that plan together right now, because all of this shit in life might be expensive. A lot of things might cost. But the one thing that's free in this motherfucking thing we call life is the ability to think until it's not. And they trying so hard to get you to not be able to do that. Look at everything that's on TV. They want you to not think for yourself. They want you to think how they want you to think. Think for yourself. Sync up, turn that connection till you get that reception with the Most High. Ask, be intentful. Don't say you want to be rich, because rich can be anything. Specify what your richness consists of. I want to be rich. I want in health. I want to have great health. You want to have great health? Hit the motherfucking gym. Eat right. I want to be rich, and I want to make $20,000 a month. Okay, now you put a price tag on it. How? The next question is, how am I going to make $20,000 a month? All the information is out there on how you can do it. This stock market play that I just told you right now, day trade, if you want to go ahead and take a deep dive into it, look on YouTube. There's so many people out there that's teaching you how to day trade. The same information that motherfuckers is trying to charge you money for is online for free. You just got to apply yourself. Everybody wants to be rich. But are you willing to do what it takes to become rich is the question. Yeah, you can't just pop this shit in the microwave, folks. You got to get your ass up and you got to do it. You can sit there and you can pray all day. You feel me? You got to ask yourself and be real with yourself. Yo, all of this praying that I'm doing, is God giving me the answers to my prayers through my mind and through my thoughts, and I'm just not acting on it, and I'm just waiting for something to happen? Ask yourself if that's what's happening for you. And more often than not, that's exactly what's happening. You know exactly what you need to do. How many of y'all know exactly what you need to do, but you procrastinate? Oh, procrastination is the devil. Procrastination is the devil. Because you know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly where you need to be. And you know exactly how to get there. But you just staying stagnant, hoping and wishing and praying that something is going to change. Ain't nothing going to change unless you do. Yeah. So king up, queen up, and get yourself where you need to be. It's your boy Billionaire Lee. Gave you 50 minutes of gems. I hope it was beneficial to you. And y'all, I'm gonna leave y'all on this, man. Go ahead, and if you don't take what I say for face value, you feel me? Whatever I say, you can fact check me. So go ahead and get on Google, type this information in that I just said, and yo, see for yourself the facts. You can look at all the percentages. You can look at the 5-year, 10-year, 20-year percentage increase on Amazon alone. And then once you see how true it is, look at all the other stocks, because it's thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of stocks. And then you can take that same concept, right? And you can apply it to cryptos. You can apply it to the Forex currency pairs. Yo, the world is your oyster, baby. But yo, I'm out of here. Got to get back to doing what I got to do on my side. I hope it's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful time getting this shit off my chest. I hope it was enlightening. Stay tuned for the next video. We'll be back. Go Talk Money Mondays. Yeah. Take all of that. Positivity, peace, love, joy, happiness, and nothing but good vibes, man. I love y'all. Until next time, Billionaire Lee. We out.